All right, ladies and gentlemen, MrSotko here. Welcome back to the channel. Got a whole bunch of good crypto news stuff for you. And the first thing I want to talk about is forget buying the dip. MicroStrategy buys 15 million more dollars of Bitcoin as it nears all-time highs. So business analytics firm MicroStrategy has made yet another large Bitcoin purchase, buying a further $15 million. It announced Friday it purchased approximately 262 more BTC at an average price of $57,146. So pretty much at the top, just a little over 1,000 away from the cryptocurrency's all-time high. This latest purchase brings the firm's total Bitcoin holdings to around 91,326, bought for an average of 24,214 apiece. At the time of writing, this is equal to around $5.1 billion compared to the approximate $2.21 billion MicroStrategy paid for them. So they're in quite profit, if you could, to say the least. The company's share price has partly recovered from a month-long downturn, which saw it dip as low as $547.40 on March 5th. MicroStrategy's stock listed at $763 in pre-market trading today and stands at $803.75 at the press time. So buying a whole bunch of extra Bitcoin, and of course, as I always say with MicroStrategy, you can never have enough Bitcoin. Moving on, Binance investigated by the CFTC and CZ responds. So the Commodity Futures Trading Commission is investigating Binance, the largest exchange by global trading volume, and this has been going around quite a bit fuddy on Binance. The regulator wants to find out whether or not U.S. citizens were able to trade derivatives on the exchange. In his tweet, Binance CEO CZ claims that the Bloomberg report is FUD. It's not a bull market without some FUD. Ignore FUD. Keep building. Binance maintains that it takes regulatory compliance very seriously. It says we take a collaborative approach in working with regulators around the world, and we take our compliance obligations very seriously. And at this point, it's not clear whether the ongoing investigation will result in any enforcement action. In July 2019, Bloomberg reported that the CFTC had begun investigating BitMEX to determine whether Americans were able to purchase or their wager on the controversial exchange that has incredible margins on it. So back in October, Forbes leaked the Tai Chi document, which allegedly describes how Binance wanted to circumvent U.S. regulations by setting up a subsidiary in the country that would send profits to the parent exchange. Binance denied the validity of the leak and sued the outlet for defamation, but then ended up dropping the lawsuit this February. The exchange started banning U.S. Users in November 2019 after launching its Binance U.S. arm. So I suppose that Forbes was right on that, saying that about the Tai Chi document that alleges that they wanted to circumvent regulations and send money to their parent exchange, Binance, which is located in Malta. So they set up a Binance.us, and I don't suppose they were particularly wrong with that, because they are sending money back to their parent exchange, I suppose, in some way, shape, or form. However, CZ responds to reports of the investigation and says the story has no teeth. He says, this is a topic that just came up literally a few minutes ago or an hour ago, said CZ. So number one, the news article said that there was no, I don't have it in front of me, there was no misconduct. I have to dig it up. So number one, there was no report of misconduct from Binance. So the report kind of defeated itself. CZ noted that as a business, Binance maintains a no-comment policy on communications with regulators, which places the company in a difficult position in regards to rebutting the contents of the report. An investigation does not mean that they're trying to charge us, trying to do something with us, and that the report could simply be a routine communication. So without citing examples, CZ said that similar instances of what he characterizes miscommunications have happened in the past, and that this story doesn't have any teeth. He also notably alleged that self-perceived competitors might bribe or pressure journalists to publish stories heavy on allegations or short on content. CZ had a complex relationship with the media over last year. Earlier this month, Binance quietly dropped a defamation lawsuit against Forbes, which I just talked about, and two of its journalists. We maintain a very collaborative posture with all agencies around the world, not just the U.S., so we have an active dialogue with regulatory agencies, which I'm assuming they do to some degree, but moving to Malta kind of displaces those allegations a little bit, because Malta is basically just, there aren't any rules for cryptocurrency there. But So this was a lot of FUD that was going around. I seen a bunch of other YouTubers making videos on this, and I don't think it really has any weight. I think CZ is right. There's no real teeth in it. They're just sort of investigating if Binance did sell to U.S. customers, which at one point they certainly did, but then they stopped selling to U.S. customers, and you were no longer able to buy on Binance, and that's why they made Binance U.S. So for a while there, they were saying, you have to take off your cryptocurrency from the exchange because in so many months we're stopping all U.S. sales, and they did. So I don't suppose there is really any particularly big lawsuit for this. But moving on here, Ethereum miners protesting EIP 1559 has accelerated the upgrade to ETH 2.0. So this is a little bit more from yesterday. This is a bit of a recap and a little bit more information, because yesterday I talked about this EIP 1559 51% hash protest, and that's not 51% attack. And I clarified that numerous times in the videos that nobody has any intention of moving all of their hash rate in order to attack Ethereum, but rather they're moving all their hash rate because the devs said, hey, if you move all your hash rate, we'll see your protest and maybe we will reconsider EIP 1559. So several community members who provided hash power to the network plan to move their hash rate to Ethermine for 51 hours on April 1st. Red Panda Mining took to Twitter to propose the idea on March 7th, tagging various other prominent miners. One of the hashtags they used read, Stop EIP 1559. The post gained a significant amount of support. So what I think too here is that since the incredible Ethereum profitability of mining right now, I bet a lot of miners went out and bought a ton of super expensive graphics cards because their price is rising and rising and rising as the profitability of Ethereum increases. They likely built a big gigantic farm and now realize, hey, our profits aren't going to last forever. Not that they were anyway, because proof of stake is coming eventually, and they're probably worried about their ROI. But the idea is that miners are worried about their profits, but the entirety of the rest of the community, that means developers, users, everything in between, basically can't use Ethereum like it should be used because the congestion is so high and the fees are so high. So it's either one or the other. And plus, the recent blocks of Ethereum are 2 block reward. That's been Ethereum's block reward for quite a while, after the third inning that was a while back. And now it's an extra 2.4 or 2.2, sometimes 2.6 extra Ethereum. So if EIP 1559 was released, literally more Ethereum would be burned than the actual block reward, and it would be deflationary. So my advice to miners right now, keep mining, keep going, and then take your profits and make Ethereum staking nodes so that not only are you mining, but you're also getting future staking rewards with your nodes, and then also hodl through any remaining Ethereum, because once EIP 1559 hits and makes it slightly deflationary, there'll be a lot less selling pressure on Ethereum, because just imagine doubling the block reward, which is basically what's happening now, and of course miners are eventually going to sell that, but my advice is just put it into an Ethereum node and stake, so you're getting the best of both worlds. You're getting double profits, essentially. According to Ethereum miner Michael Carter, who runs a YouTube mining channel called Bits Be Trippin', the protest is a show of force. This is not attacking the network. What it is showing, though, is miners can coordinate. The video on which he made the comments related to April protest drew a mixed reception. While some supported his viewpoint, miners, confirming their plans to participate, others were critical. One user says, this shows that most of the miners don't care about Ethereum. They only care about their mining rewards. Good riddance. I'll be sure to add some hash power to help a little in the way, and I can and in the short term. So happy to see miners soon out of the picture. Well, I don't know if you should be that harsh with it, but some people are saying, hey, miners are going to stop mining because their amazing profits are going away. Well, profits are still pretty good anyway, even with just a 2 Ethereum block reward currently. With nearly $2,000 Ethereum, it's still pretty profitable, even without that extra Ethereum attached to it. I don't think it's just about the mining rewards, but they've been jaded by just an unbelievable amount. And there's probably a lot of people that went out there and bought a bunch of mining rigs because of the profits. And then if the profits get shut down, their ROI is going to take a lot longer. In the Twitter thread discussing the protest, Carter conceded that he thought the possibility of any group courting a 51% attack was highly unlikely. Nonetheless, divisions across the Ethereum community have been apparent in recent weeks. Last Friday, Ethereum developers agreed to launch the protocol's anticipated EIP 1559 in the London hard fork slated for July. EIP 1559 is going to introduce the fee burn ETH buyback mechanism, which affects the revenue miners can earn. It also adds deflationary pressure to ETH, and that's in particularly when ETH's usage is so high that the fees in the block from all of the transactions actually exceed the block reward. Then it would be deflationary. If people stopped using Ethereum, maybe there was just a lull period in prices, or people just got bored with it for a little while. It happens. It goes up and down. And the fees were less than the block reward, then Ethereum would still remain slightly inflationary. So one significant chain that's currently in discussion involves an alteration to the Ethereum 2.0 roadmap. In December, Phase 0 launched with the deployment of the Beacon chain. As it stands, Phase 1 is scheduled to follow, introducing sharding. This will be followed by Phase 1.5, which involves docking Ethereum mainnet with the Beacon chain. Ethereum would then make the transition from proof of work to proof of stake. Earlier this week, discussions arose over the possibility of implementing the Phase 1.5 merge ahead of sharding. So basically, instead of going from sharding and then to Phase 1.5, which is basically eliminating proof of work and going to proof of stake, they're just going to swap them around and eliminate proof of work earlier than sharding would come out. So basically, the Ethereum devs realize what's going on with the congestion and the massive fees, and they're trying to push the proof of stake faster in order to just circumvent all of this nonsense that's going on. But moving on here to some potentially fake news. So this article has been going around on various different mediums for quite a while now. It's been over maybe a week. And you would figure that it would have been in my news, and I was actually very excited to put this in my news, but then I started to look into it a little bit, and it's not quite accurate. Ethereum miners find a way to bypass NVIDIA's hash limits. NVIDIA announced the creation of a new product, the NVIDIA CMP, meant exclusively for cryptocurrency mining. In order to separate its product offerings between gamers and miners, NVIDIA limited the hash rate of the GTX 3060, or the RTX 3060 chip that had been increasingly popular for crypto miners. We're limiting the hash rate of the GeForce RTX 3060 GPUs, so they're less desirable for miners. Basically, they were going to nerf the RTX 3060 by 50%, and not the 3070, not the 3080, etc., or greater. They're just the 3060, because that's usually the GPU, the 60 series, the 2060, the 1060 are usually some of the better, arguably, some of the better GPUs, because they have an excellent hash rate at a low wattage. And even though the hash rate is better on a 3070 and 3080 or the 1080 and 1070, it draws far too much power. So instead, miners mostly use 60 series GPUs because they're cheaper, they use less wattage, and they hash at a pretty reasonable rate. So you just take the hash rate divided by the wattage that it's taking, and then you get a certain hash rate per watt. And the 3060s and 2060s, 1060s are usually pretty good at that. Now, AMD GPUs usually are a bit better for their cost ratio, but either way, 3060s are pretty efficient. So along comes a screenshot posted by a Twitter account that documents tech leaks depicted a stack of 8 3060 graphics cards operating far above NVIDIA's imposed 20 to 25 mega hash mining limit. So we can see here that they're mining at 45 mega hash, which is way more than what it should be mining. So basically everybody's saying that they got around it. However, a lot of these articles have basically stated, made an update on their articles saying that we made a mistake. The hash rate in question here is not actually ETH hash or Dagger Hashimoto, it's a different hash rate. So this Twitter here posted this link and it shows all the GPUs mining at 45 mega hash, which is really great, which is more than what it should be mining. But is it really mining Ethereum? You can see here that this is the whole picture. You can't see anything else. So somebody said, provide a full screenshot instead of only one that's partial. This is very dubious, and I agree. So they posted a link here, and then and I'm not going to click on this link, but somebody basically reposted the link picture, and we'll take a look at this real quick. And once again, this is not a bigger picture. This is just the picture blown up with maybe like some Facebook comments here. So this doesn't show anything. This is just a larger picture of this cropped picture up here. And says, so I don't know the real sources, the Twitter says. It says it's fake news. But you can use RTX for other cryptocurrency mining. It's not fake. Now markets have too much cryptocurrencies, which doesn't really, it's not really relevant and necessarily. So, and one person says in Conflux Octopus. So basically, this is the Octopus algorithm for the coin Conflux, and they have an Octopus algorithm, and that is what is showing. So Nvidia nerfed the Ethereum algorithm or Dagger Hashimoto, etc., and that's what they nerfed, not Octopus or other algorithms like what Monero uses or really anything else. They just nerfed Ethereum in the firmware. So now am I saying that there will never be a fix for this? Well, firmware is kind of hard to get around, but you never know. Programmers, etc., are pretty slick. In fact, I think the enlargement pill had proprietary software in order to access the underlying hardware of a GPU, and that's why we had enlargement pill a few years back that made 1080 Ti's mine Ethereum far better than they should, because they actually got a hold of Nvidia and partnered with Nvidia for the enlargement pill, and then you get special software that can actually access the hardware and the firmware or etc. of the GPU. It's a little bit complicated, but basically they got permission from Nvidia to access to be able to access the hardware and make it better. So that's not work like that. 36 restrictions is only the algo ETH hash. The one that mines Ethereum is the most profitable, but there are others that is not restricted, like Octopus, where it reached that amount of mega hash without mods. Can you tell me where did you find that? And if you're sure that that is a mod to mine ETH hash algorithm and not just a screenshot mining Octopus, and they basically can't. The problem with the screenshot is that it does not show the mining algorithm used. We all know that Nvidia only have the Dagger Hashimoto algorithm and not any of the other algorithms. They haven't cracked the lock on Dagger yet. So algo proof, people are asking for proof. Fake, not Ethereum. Basically, people are calling this out for being fake news, essentially, because this doesn't prove anything. We can't see the algorithm. We don't know the software using this. And people are saying that this is the Octopus algorithm and not Ethereum. So if you see this article around, it's likely fake news, and they just posted it very quickly because of this Vietnamese Facebook group or Chinese Facebook group, whatever it actually came from, and then articles just popped up immediately because it was good news. But many of the articles, not this one, actually fixed themselves and said there was an update and that they were wrong, that this is the Octopus algorithm and not actually Ethereum. So moving on to CoinMarketCap here, I'm not sure what's up with this flow. I actually took a couple minutes to look at what this is supposed to be. Apparently, it has a circulating supply of something like 3 quadrillion, I think this is. Let's see, we got million, billion, trillion. Yeah, so like 3 quadrillion. I'm not sure if this is a real one. It seems like CoinMarketCap has been doing this lately with some fake coins. Is this a real coin? Is this not? I actually don't even know. But apparently, it has a market cap of $110 quadrillion. So that's more money than on planet. You could probably buy planet Earth for $110 quadrillion. So it's definitely something fake. I have no idea why this is on here. Maybe I'll figure it out for next video. I don't know. Not really particularly concerned anyway. But $1.7 trillion market cap still, 56,700 and some odd Bitcoin. And we were in the bit of a red today. You can see that a lot of coins are red. So a little bit of a cooling off after our burst up to 57, close to 58,000 again, which is nothing particularly special. Ethereum's down a little bit extra because of this. And I think Ethereum is down and it's being prevented from going to 2,000 because there are so many fees on Ethereum right now. One, people aren't buying it and using it nearly as much because they don't want to pay the fees. And two, literally more fees than the actual block reward are going to miners. And what are they going to do with that? Well, they're going to hodl it. You could also put it into staking nodes, but you could also sell it too. So it's creating a lot of sell pressure. And if EIP 1559 went out, it would only affect the miners' profits. And hey, I mean, I used to be a miner. I used to love mining. I haven't mined in quite a while, but I can understand, right? If they're making that much money, of course they're going to want to fight for it. But the rest of the community, the entirety of the community, is pretty sick of the fees. And once EIP 1559 comes, then those fees will be burned, and we'll see a lot more buying pressure on Ethereum and a lot less selling pressure. But that's all I have for you guys today. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video. It helps me out a lot. My social media in the description below. Give me a follow on those if you get the opportunity to do so. And as usual, I'll see you guys next time.